Everybody, how you doing? Well, it's Friday. There we go. I don't know about you, but time seems to have escaped at a velocity greater than I was looking forward to actually wanting to travel. So there you go. And hello, everyone in the chat room. Thank you, all the moderators. Hello, Debbie. How are you doing? Deborah Tucker. Wonderful. Shannon. Boy, just so many people. Brad, good to see you. Last Resort. Shannon. David, good to see you. So I was singing It's a Beautiful Day. And of those who know the album, what a phenomenal album. Actually got to see them in 1970 at the Music Hall in Houston, Texas. Great concert. So anyway, that's something that is a part of me. When my time is done on this earth, I will be going out, as my wife says, with a full jukebox. So, and any case, hello, Michael. How are you doing? Good to see you. Sylvia, good to see you. Just kind of Jamma, Dwayne, Ice Station, Ron, hello, greetings to everyone. Hello, Raven Wolf. We will be having Anna on tonight on the Friday Night Live show. Looking forward to that. We're going to be talking Mayan astrology. And Anna actually did my chart, and so we'll get to talk about it. You know, the great thing about it, when you have those things that can show a person's attributes, and we have many, and some never go discovered. And it's actually going to play into what we're going to be talking about here today. But the fact is, when you've traversed a certain number of steps down the path, is that you can look back and you can apply these and you can see either they line up or they don't. And of course, when you begin to see the attributes very well established in your life, well, I think that gives even greater validity to how our species has the ability to, I really think, pierce that space-time continuum veil. And I just, before I came on here, I was having a delightful conversation with the all. And I'm sure probably a couple of my spirit guides. And so I said this yesterday to a person who had written me and was looking for some help. And I want to share it with everyone else. There's going to be two realities, I believe, for each and every one of us. It's as real in this one, but I do believe it will definitely play even a greater degree in the next plane. You're either going to be a ruler or you're going to be ruled. I don't think there's any in between. And we're given, each of us, this rarest of opportunities in this plane of existence to really begin to master all that is a part of us. And regrettably, so many come here, and it's one of the reasons why I don't quite go for reincarnation. I just don't see where getting multiple bites at the apple would change anything. I think you do what you do because of who you are, whether it be good, whether it be bad. And again, bad or good is just a matter of degree and as to who's making the determination. So I keep saying this. You're a God. And The sin that is so readily seized by religion, the sin is when you sin against yourself. The separation is really how you've separated yourself from yourself. And many of us, the decades go by quick, but you got to figure it's like this. If you did the same thing for 3,650 days in a row, that's 10 years. Most people only get 7 or 8. Many get less. So think about what's happening here. We're never taught to stay united to our spirits. Even from a very young age, most of us are never taught the discipline of the Hermetic 7 principles. I dare say if we had, be far more who would be much more united to their spirits. And I think that really the self-condemnation that is so quickly applied through the control matrix of religion, that is the sin. You self-condemn yourself. And once that's established that you are not good enough, that you need an intermediary, that you need something to assist you higher because you are not worthy enough, you've kind of blew it. So, yeah, this is going to be, I think, very meaningful for those who are here by the fact that you are here. I think some are called here. And while I was out before, I got this visual impression that there is a person right now standing in a kitchen, what looked like a kitchen, stirring a hot beverage. And your life is about to change big time in a very positive way. I don't know who that is, but that is certainly what I got. And, I meditate on this. I ask that, is there something that we can give to the audience? I invoke favor before I go on here. I also invoke the spirit of wisdom to be amongst us. And I yield to that spirit of wisdom in the fact of what wisdom can bring. I contend this. It's not money. It's not healing. It's not these things that we could list of what we need in our lives. If we could understand, there's just one thing each of us need, and that's wisdom. With wisdom, you can solve every problem that you've created in your life. And the problem is with so many of us is that we have become used to the 6th principle of cause and effect. But the thing is that we become the reactors to cause instead of being the causers. Well, thank you, Shannon. Scott Shut Hats. I like that. Is that correct? Good to see you. Haven't seen you before. Had a hot cup of turmeric tea 10 minutes ago. Well, there you go, folks. They've never lied to me. Never will. And there's a reason for it. So let's kind of get right into some things here, because I think it's important that your time, my time, is the most valuable asset you possess. I'm going to give you something here. Every second every millisecond that has been given to you is priceless. It's a fortune of undiscovered wealth. To those of you who find life to be among the mundane, you're asleep. You're under a spell. The thing that you have that no other spirit being has is that you have this life integrated into this reality, whatever you want to call it. And the day that you discover that every second can buy you wisdom, gain you experience, preparation, can unlock doors here that where you'll never lack anything in your life again, nor will your children. When that happens, that's when your life changes. And it has the cause and effect, as you will see. And I believe what you're going to discover today is probably, for many of you, your biggest problem. Got to have the tea. That's all I got to say. So let's get right into it, because I think we have some really good thought-provoking ideas to cover here. So here we go. There's the disclaimer. You got to do the copyright thing. It's just the way it is, even though it's my material. And how many times have I been copyrighted? Oh, so many, numerous times one cannot even imagine. Not on this plane, but many planes similar. All right, let's go. So what kind of spell speak do you speak? Now, even when you write, you're still spell speaking. And every word, they're back in the late 80s, Matthew Broderick and Marlon Brando were in a movie called The Freshman. And it's a great movie. It was a parody on The Godfather, and they really did. It's a delightful movie. Anyway, in there, Marlon Brando is sitting at the skating rink, and Matthew Broderick says, "Do you promise me?" And Marlon Brando had the best line in the movie. He said, "Every word I speak, by definition, is a promise." Now, imagine you becoming so mindful of every word you speak, every word you type, that it becomes the top priority of your cognitive reasoning before you speak it or type it. Because you know how powerful it is. Now, listen to this. So shall my word be that goes forth out of my mouth. It shall not return to me void without producing any effect. It will not be useless, but it shall accomplish that which I please and purpose. My word shall prosper in the thing for which I sent it, be it good or be it evil. Now, at the end, we're going to talk about where this originated from. But if this isn't so etched, tattooed, branded on your spiritual consciousness, then you're missing it. You're just missing it. This should be your mindset. Every word that goes forth out of my mouth, Bill, John, Karen, Elizabeth, whoever, put your name in. It shall not return back to me void, without producing any effect. Now let's stop and talk about the word effect. It has polarity, vibration, rhythm, correspondence. Effect does exactly that. It affects your life. It affects your children. It affects your bank account. It affects your job. It affects your boss. And get the next one. Useless. That's very important. It's not going to come back empty. It's going to deliver a payload one way or the other. Now look what the next part says. But it shall accomplish that which I please and purpose. Please. Define please. What does it please you? That's pleasure. You can use a word, your discretion. And you can carry that one way out, either to the right, to the left, to the top, to the bottom, to the side, doesn't matter. It's not confined by a three-dimensional plane. My word, that's your word, sweetheart, shall prosper. Now that word prosper means, actually it goes all the way back to the Hebrew, meaning nothing missing, nothing broken. So my word shall prosper. Listen, that can be either good or bad. Where's your polarity? Because that's the frequency you're vibrating at. And you send it out. So here's your problem. Give me 1 second. Oh, yeah. See, that's pleasure. Oh, yeah. Thank you for the tea. Oh, yeah. I'm just drinking in that warmth. That's his favorite, baby. Yeah, it's healing every part of my body. My body, we are intimate. Woo! All right, here's the problem. You don't believe in yourself. Look around in your situation, and you put your situation on the scales of what you want or had wanted or desire for your life to be at. And tell me how those scales are tipping. And it comes to the point where you have to be so brutally honest with yourself. Most of us are so good at lying. We all lie. Every human being lies. And let me tell you something, it's not a sin. That sounds contradictory, doesn't it? But it's not a sin. Let me tell you what, there's times when lying can save your ass, buddy. Get you out of a very tight situation. So once you begin to understand, you start checking off these things that are supposedly sins in your life, realize everybody lies. That's the first step of believing in yourself. Because the fact, truth be known, you've lied to yourself. All of us have. Just a fact. You don't even believe in yourself, and that's the freaking problem. You don't even believe in your words. In fact, I can guarantee you this. For so many that's listening, those in the unseen realm think you're a joke. They don't take you serious because you don't take your words serious. You speak faithless words. This is the only kind most people know. faithless words. Example. Oh, I was just kidding. I didn't really mean anything by that. You know me. Oh, come on. I speak, and it goes on and on. Let me tell you how much you don't believe in your words. How many times have you said, well, that just kills me. I'm just dying to know. Stop lying to yourself. I've told you this before. You ought to take a recorder and let it record you in one day of your life and play it back. Now, here's the problem. Most speak faithless words. Oh, they just think it's cute. Oh, I didn't mean anything by that. Yeah. However, sunshine, even faithless words have power, and they do return with the payload. Look at your life, and you can easily determine what your payload has been. It's just the fact. People speak words so nonchalantly, they absolutely are unaware of any of the consequences. And in fact, when you get into stressful situations, boom, you have a car accident. What's the first thing that comes out of your mouth? You want to know the true color of your aura? Yeah. Here's the deal. And there is no gray matter in between. It is either or. You will be and are either blessed, favored by your words, or cursed and misfortuned. Now, I'm going to bring out something I haven't seen on YouTube. In fact, I don't even see it taught on. The word misfortune. Cursed. I contend most people are living under multiple curses. And the thing about it is, no one cast it on them. They've done it to themselves. And they speak it all the time. What does fortune mean? Well, I've told you this before in the video I did, The Birthright of Passage. When you have your chart done, whether it's Western astrology, Eastern astrology, and now Mayan astrology, which I would probably say may even supersede Western astrology. Even the Hermetic principles teach this. We're all given a fortune when we're born. Kind of call it a welcome package. Welcome to Earth. Kiss your ass goodbye because you're about to go on a ride of a lifetime. So each of us have, you can define it fortune, inheritance, a dowry, a portion, a down payment, whatever you want to call it. You are a God. I lived 50 freaking years of my life thinking that I was unworthy, disadvantaged. I could just go on and on with the list, never realizing I had a fortune. I'm a god. We will not come into this plane so disadvantaged that the rules are meaningless. No, there are laws, there are principles. Part of being immortal, ladies and gentlemen, and your gender doesn't freaking matter. You just happen to have this part of fate. Every male has a female, every female has a male. We come in with this. We've heard the expression, well, he was just born under a bad sign, dark cloud. Oh, he was just born under a golden sign. It's there. It's just that we don't teach ourselves this. So what is a fortune? Dig this. A law as an external arbitrary force affecting human affairs. A law as an external arbitrary force affecting human affairs. A hypothetical force or personified power that unpredictably determines events and issues favorable or unfavorable to a human. Now, we know under the second principle of correspondence, there is no such thing as luck. Luck has just been an undefined, categorized principle. And it all falls mostly under cause and effect. We don't see the millions, if not billions of things that are happening in order for certain events to play out. I like this next one. Prosperity attained. That's cool. Position in life as determined by wealth. Now you can think on this one. How can you have a position in something if you don't have something of that? It would imply implicitly by the definition, you have wealth. It's just a matter how much. Things that happen or are to happen to a person in his or her life. Yeah. Now, a true hermeticist, as an initiate, you'll ponder on this. Why does some people fortune favor more than others? Is it truly just a luck of the draw, family line, star sign, planet sign, birth sign? It gets deep. You see, the reason why it can't be that way, I'll tell you why. Because that means then the universe shows partiality. And the universe doesn't show partiality. So it has to be something more going on here. Fate, lot, destiny. Now in the Hermetica, when we read that, we know exactly what destiny is. We know what necessity is, fate. We know what pistis and sophia is. Folks, once you get this into your head, hold on one second here, you begin to realize that this is, well, it's not by chance. even that which seems to be by chance. Give you a scenario. Close your eyes with me, those of you who've been in Vegas. So right now, I'm walking on, I don't know, let's say that I'm at the Mirage, and I've just come around the corner where all the plants are as you walk the bridge after you get through check-in, and there's a row of slot machines, $1 ones particularly. And so keep your eyes closed now. And this is the one that is the big one. You know, it's the big machine. And so you get stopped because you're mesmerized, and you see a guy who has put in $100 bills, and you're watching it because it's a big machine. He walks away, he doesn't have anything. Then that person of fate walks in and puts in a $5 bill, pulls it, and wins a jackpot. Luck or determined fate, destiny. The last one, chance personified, commonly regarded as a mythical being distributing arbitrarily and capriciously the lots of life. I had to put that one in. When I came across that one, I said, wow. Chance personified. Well, that's what God is. To most people, God is a personality personified. You can go, your car, you give your car a name. You can just do, but chance personified, commonly regarded as a mythical being, giving substance to that which is not seen, but as being real. Distributing arbitrarily or capriciously the lots of life. Maybe there's substance to that one. I don't know. There is a demigod and a complete hierarchy over everything. Wealth? Yeah, there are angels. We're going to get into that here before too long here, where you can invoke certain spirits to bring that out. But here's the point. Most miss their fortunes. It's taken away so often at youth. I told you that when I lived in Knoxville, that part of my sales territory was going up through Appalachia. And there it's instilled. I mean, there are some poor places, folks, in Western Kentucky. Trust me, poor. And the thing is, they're no different than someone who is born in New York City, Sherman Oaks, California. But it's so instilled that they're poor, and they let go their talents. And so often they miss their fortunes. And if you listen to many people speak, you can see really quickly where they are in life by their words. And here's the deal, folks. The unseen realm knows this as well. They watch you 24/7. Many record everything that you say. And there are those who record every thought. But this point cannot go unnoticed. They've learned you and learned about you by your faith in your own words. So this is how you can begin to change things. First of all, begin to exercise your faith in your words. Start by creating something small, like calling into an existence. And I'll just show you here, a $1 bill. How many of you can manifest by your faith, your words, a $1 bill? I challenge everyone listening to my voice, and no cheating, no lying, to visually and materially bring in $1 bill into your life. When you get that done, let's see how many of you can bring $5 into your life. Manifesting by thought, desire that pleases you. Then a 10. You get that? And save each one. There's going to be a ritual that you'll want to do. And then believe in for the 20, the 50, and the $100. Now, here's the thing. Don't limit yourself just to money. This is an exercise and a challenge to begin to correct the pendulum, to begin to change the polarity. Now, your words can manifest any other material thing. I helped a person, she was a single mother, poor, had several young children, and the biggest need in her life was diapers. And she was tired of just depending upon welfare. And she began to believe and to focus in on diapers. Because to her, that was more valuable than money. It was money. I'm happy to say within a very short period of time, miraculously, and we know it's not miraculously, there was a cause and effect in play. She didn't have to worry about diapers anymore. And here's the bottom line, folks. Your life is the result of your words you spoke yesterday. And if you don't change it, and don't expect things to happen overnight. Remember, this is a freight train about 5 miles long. You've been applying a lot of force to it for many, many years, decades. So don't think that this is going to suddenly stop. It's going to take a while for that puppy to finally get down to reverse itself. Now, you should write this down. This should be a part of, I tell you, if you're serious enough, you'll print this out and put it on the mirror when you're putting your makeup on, shaving, brushing your teeth, your refrigerator, your car. And you begin to realize that you begin to say this to yourself, so shall my word be that goes forth out of my mouth. It shall not return to me void without producing any effect. It is not useless, but it shall accomplish that which I please and purpose. My word shall prosper in the thing for which I sent it, and it shall be good. That actually came from Isaiah 54. So if it's good enough for the Hebrew God, Should be good enough for all of us. So, you get out of this right here. 1 second, folks. So there you go. The stuff, if you're serious about it, this is how it works. Yeah. So how does this now begin to apply to speaking spells? Because literally, that's what we're doing all the time. And sadly, most of us are living the result of the spells that we have spoken. Now, you can break the power of a word spoken over you. That's far more easier to do than breaking the word that you spoke over you. Fact. So, you cast a spell. Let's just look at something. I pulled some up for us to take a look at. Let me see where I am on this. Here we go. This would be kind of cool. So, these are 50 of the most powerful spells. Remember, it's merely a template. You can make your own spells, and you should. No reason why. You're doing it already. You have protection chants. You have protection spells. You have purification spells. Let's go on down here. You have one for beauty. Beauty isn't in the eye of the beholder. It's a reflection of our feelings about ourselves. When we dwell on our defects, no human body is perfect. I remember I saw Rita Rudner in Las Vegas, and she said, here is every woman's worst nightmare. And she says, it's the mother curse coming to rest back home. She says, you step out of the shower, and the next thing you know, the breasts are down to your belly button. Your ass is now down to your knees, and you went, what happened? So anyway, it was a good routine. So this is designed to increase the good feeling about yourself, and you can just see that I read a lot of these and I think, well, yeah, I don't know. I don't see anything really that special. I could do this myself. Oh, I have. All right. So Aleister Crowley. Now he's an interesting cat. You got to admit he certainly got Churchill to believe in him. And who's to say that Aleister's magic didn't work? Because the Nazis were hell bent ahead of everybody. They had invoked some powerful, powerful beings, folks. And those assholes are still here. So here's one. Invocation 1. O self divine. O living Lord of me. How interesting. Self-shining flame, begotten of beyond. Godhead immaculate. Swift tongue of fire, kindled from that immeasurable light. The boundless, the immutable. Come forth, my God, my lover. Spirit of my heart of my soul, white virgin of the dawn, my queen of all perfection. Come thou forth from thine abode beyond the silences. To me, the prisoner, me, the mortal man, shrined in this clay, come forth, I say, to me. Initiate my quickened soul. Draw near, and let the glory of thy Godhead shine. Through all the luminous ethers of the air, even to the earth, thy footstool. Unto me, who by those sacred invocations draw the holy influence within myself, to strengthen and to purify my will and holy aspiration to thy life. Purge me and consecrate until my heart burn through the very limit of the veil and rend it at the hour of sacrifice, that even the secret pillar in the mist may be made manifest to mortal eyes. Behold, upon my right hand and my left, the mighty pillars of amazing fire and terrible cloud. Their tops in heavens are veiled, whereon the everlasting lamp rejoices. Their pedestals upon the universe are set in rolling clouds and thunder gust, in vivid flame and tempest. But to me, balance between them burns the holy light. I don't know now, everyone can interpret this differently, but I got the sense when I read that, he was right. It's talking about the inner being, the inner light. I think that's where Christianity got the message. They stole the message from the Gnostics. Christianity was never a part of Judaism, was never meant to be. In fact, that's the problem today. You got to move amongst the council of churches to begin to take the Old Testament away. Why? Because it's a problem for them. But the Gnostics knew it. But how they took it, how Rome incorporated it into a political powerhouse. But what did the Christ say? The kingdom of God is in you. The Christ is in you. You're the God. You're the Godhead. Maybe if you start giving yourself praise, now, to actually begin to worship yourself, well, we hear that's narcissistic. That's narcissism. No, that's been perverted. There's a purity to everything, folks. These are actual incantations. So, yeah. The forgotten ones, people have asked me about this, and I wanted to bring this out because I think it's so interesting how information is downloaded, how it's given. But this is really a very cool put together here. So we get the different type of gods that are out there, spirits. We see where they come from. There's one I wanted to go to, the Anunnaki. Look at this. The 7 lords of the underworld, the dog-faced. This, when I come across this, I went, wow, look at this. Anna actually is air, element. Let's go down here. Anu, spear of the Ion, Lord of the heavens, the great watcher with Enlil and Enki. By the way, Jeff and I are going to be doing a program on that. I'm not going to give it away. But look at the name of these gods. Now, folks, you can invoke these gods. Don't think that you can't. I had it told to me that they mourn because mankind doesn't call on them anymore, even of their origins. And many times these hierarchy of spirit in their kingdoms, they rule over land, water. I mean, you got a spirit over Iran. You got a spirit over the United States. You got a spirit over Great Britain. These are actual living entities, complex kingdoms. But as you can see, here's Dagon, god of the deep, given the frequency 777 attributed to the fish. By the way, I know I'm bringing up Jeff, but he really brought a very good point about Job. Yeah, got to go check that out. But anyway, so you can see that this is pretty cool. Now, here is an invocation. Now, I don't recommend that you do this, but knowledge is knowledge. And the minute you begin to parcel that it's bad knowledge or good knowledge, you've missed the point. It's just knowledge. Now, it has polarities within it, but it's just knowledge. And you can see here, this is really a pretty good one. By the righteous power and holy authority of my own, I am conscious. I, blah, blah, blah. Here, a daughter of Ukraine. I'm not obviously a daughter, but you can go and you can see how these invocations can really get. You become powerful enough, knowledgeable enough, they'll help guide you. But anyway, this one is pretty intense. I mean, it really is. And you sign it, and it gives you exactly who you're calling with on here. Each one of these angels, these demigods. And remember what I said. I'm going to get out of here on this one. We'll get back here. But why would an angel yield to you, a human? I mean, if you're lesser than they are, well, that would be like a king going out and working as a peasant. It would be undignified. In fact, he would lose more of his power, his credibility with those subjects if he did such a thing. So if you're going to deal with spirits, you have to begin to learn where you stand. And if you don't believe you're a god, they're not either. They will roll over you like a steamroller, baby. They'll flatten you out, and they'll have you running with your tail tucked between your legs. It's just a fact. Well, this has been fun. I'm really looking forward tonight with Raven Wolf, and again, we'll probably get into some of this, and we're learning. We'll continue to apply the Hermetic principles. Now, when we start getting into polarity, you can begin to understand how spells can begin to work. You can cast a spell with the greatest of intention, never realizing that the frequency and the polarity that you're really sending out is going to boomerang you. And the thing that you also need to develop, especially keenly, is your ability of discernment. You have to develop that gifting. It's not a gifting. I think it's an actual attribute. I think we all have it. It comes up most often in situations of life or flight. But you can, like anything else, develop it to where you can begin to discern. As a God, you have access to God. It's a private club. Years, I was both a United and American Airlines club members. So you've got the key, darling. And you can get in. And it's nice. It works. It does. We could have a whole room full right now of the most wealthiest individuals walking this planet. And it's not about the size of your bank account. Again, my prayer is for wisdom. I don't need money. Money will come as a result of wisdom. It will naturally be attracted. Did you know that? You show me a wise man who's broke. It's attracted to it. And for good reason. It's got favor. Okay. So, Hope it's helps someone. Who knows? There's a couple hundred of us in here, and so that's a nice little crowd. It's true though, folks. I mean, I've been on this planet over 23,000 days. I know there's some of you that have been in here longer, some lesser. But these are the lessons. It's one thing to take the word of someone who can describe to you a safari. It's a whole different thing when you've got a safari guide. So choose which way you want to approach that. So right back on my whiteboard. Why haven't we developed our mental skills, telepathy, telekinesis, pyrokinesis? I mean, there's just so many things. But let me just tell you something. Let me show you how well refined your faith is and how for so many you're easily mind controlled. So right now you have one of the biggest mind control things that happen every time this year. And you're hearing that this is going to be a terrible flu season. It's going to be terrible. In fact, what do most of you do when you begin to have the symptoms of, let's say, the rhinovirus? You will say, inevitably, you're going to say to somebody, I have the flu. I have a cold. I feel miserable. Yeah. You claimed it. Congratulations. We got Mary. She just claimed the flu. Glad to go ahead and come on down here and get your prize here now. Come on. You've got 14 days of misery coming to you. But that's how it works. It does. People look at me weird, but I tell them, I'm catching a healing. I'd rather catch a healing than catch a cold. And as a result, my body does wonderfully. But it's true. And you hear it. And thus it goes on and on and on. All right, folks, do your dollar experiment. Come on. See how many of you can actually call into manifestation $36. Do it one at a time. This is the truth. My wife has seen this. Do you know what shows up on the ground for me? $100 bills. Now, there's a reason for that. But yeah, that doesn't happen all the time. It's not how it works. It's the fact that it's a reminder to me of what's going on my subconscious and superconscious mind. Because it's feeding off this. And thus, the story continues. All right, folks, be good to yourselves. We'll see you tonight with Miss Anna. And I'm sure it's Anna, but I like Anna. It just has much more aristocratic approach. Anna. And we're going to be talking on Mayan astrology. And for those of you who can't make it, fine. Have a great weekend. Be good to yourself. Learn to love yourself. You're a God. And you would never tell your God he was an asshole. You would never tell your God that he was a jerk. You never tell your God that she is just an absolute idiot. So if you wouldn't tell your God that, why would you tell yourself that? Think about it. All right, folks, we will see you later tonight. All right. I appreciate you. Let me just speak favor over each and every one of you. That favor begins to manifest in the most area that you have need most. And may the spirit of wisdom impart into you understanding as well. All right, folks, we'll talk to you later, probably in about 7 hours, maybe 6. All right, folks, bye-bye.